Other interesting culture news, you have Bud Light tweeting yet again. It's like a gopher poking its head back up, looking over to see if it's safe. And no, it's not safe because, again, they've insulted their core customers so much and they never addressed the problem. So I doubt the boycott or the tweets will ever stop. Or more accurately, the responding tweets that ratio them in seconds. Now, this tweet, it was literally a Bud Light, and it said, manifesting this energy. And it was literally just a guy holding two beers. Wait, I need to do a fact check. I don't think his fingers melted from having contact with the hazardous materials. And for his safety, he did not drink the beer in the actual commercial or this little photo advertisement. I mean that partially kidding. It actually is a fascinating industry trend in the alcohol community where they don't drink in the commercials. I've noticed this with not just Bud Light, but all the brands. It's an unspoken norm in the community because they're scared to death of being over-regulated with like the tobacco industry. Where the tobacco industry was hit so heavily with regulation, they're not allowed to have any advertisement on your TV. They can barely advertise these days, which, again, having a product that relies so heavily on brand loyalty in a subject or in a category where many people see as a commodity, beer and cigarettes, presumably most of them taste the same, but there's brand loyalty, you need to have an advertising mechanism to keep those sales up or even better, increase the sales. So it looks like manifesting energy. So it's, oh wow, this person actually might have more talent than the CEO of Bud Light. This person is actually holding two beers with one hand. That is amazing. So it's the first time they tweeted in about 7 days. And of course, it was just ratioed in seconds. And I mean, very entertaining to see how quickly they failed. So these statistics were all taken within the first 12 hours of the tweet. And for the original one from Bud Light, they had 55,000 views and, drumroll please, 305 likes. Not even the people working at Bud Light are liking this, presumably because they have thousands of employees. That gives us a like ratio of 0.55%, which, dear God, that's terrible. Now, one of the top responses was a gentleman saying, I'm manifesting this right now, and it was a pejorative comic of two men, one dressed up as Bud Light, one as a Coors Light, or Miller Lite, a competitor, and it had the one beer company going down and pleasuring the Bud Light can. Now, that got 619 views. So comparatively speaking, much fewer views, but it got 21 likes. So that's a 3.69% like ratio. Much better than 0.55. Now, another response was actually someone just doing a picture showing them the scales of all the decreased sales of the Anheuser-Busch InBev products. So we showed you this chart of every month. Here's the percentage of sales decrease from Bud Light, Budweiser, Michelob Ultra, and many of the other brands that they own. That got 3,093 views and 92 likes. So that's 2.97% likes. And also important to note, dozens of people posting pictures of Yangling beer. A great competitor that is still family owned, the oldest brewery in the United States. Now, I'm a little remiss to say, a little disappointed to say they're not headquartered in the best state of Texas, but they are headquartered nevertheless in the United States. Still family owned for the generations, and they're growing exponentially. And this is the kind of advertising money can't buy. Now, unlike Bud Light, Yangling isn't paying these people to say this. They're just fans. And anecdotally speaking, I bought Yangling for the first time ever because of this, and I noticed they were popping up in Texas stores. Previously, you went back to a couple years back, I never noticed them in the aisle. Granted, I'm not much of a beer drinker. I usually prefer spirits on the occasion calls for it. But culturally speaking, you're seeing a huge increase in sales of Yangling, usually on average between 20 and 30% week over week compared to the same weeks last year. That's really good. And, of course, there are a couple, interestingly enough, I guess it's not Photoshop, but every time, so there's someone who will say something like, oh yeah, I'm ready for a Bud Light, or I'm excited, which I don't know anyone who's ever legitimately said, I'm excited to have a Bud Light. Like, you get it for free at a party in college. That's the origin of Bud Light. But I can't help but see every time there's someone who has a positive response to the Bud Light tweets, they're someone who exclusively reposts for businesses. Last week, there were 2 people who said, oh yeah, I'm excited for my Bud Light, which, again, I don't think it's ever been said in the English language, but I looked at their profiles on Twitter, or now X, and all they did was repost for a handle by the name of Millionaires. So they didn't have any original thoughts or opinions, they just tweeted. Now, if you do want some moderately interesting thoughts and opinions, you can follow me on the Twitter X. I'm at NICTOPPING. As of today, it's a cool picture of a guy with a AR-15 mounted flamethrower, which again, you can get if you shop with Topping Technologies. So it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, they're just all negative. And yeah, a lot of them are saying, oh yeah, you're too fratty. There's actually one with an arrow just pointing to a Budweiser can with the Harley logo on it that just says woke. And that got 9 hearts or 9 likes and 1,348 views. So it'll be interesting to see. They're trying to tweet. They're trying to use social media to their advantage, but it really isn't. They're not changing the public perception of the brand, not increasing sales with these tweets. I can't help but think maybe there's just a marketing intern where that's just their job and they just do it. Like, let me know, has Bud Light tweeting changed your perception by 1 iota since the boycott started? Has it done any good? Like, how many? I would venture to say no. If anything, it's provided moderately interesting entertainment, but that's usually because their tweets are so bad. It's not making me like the brand. So I would say no, it's not helping. Let me know in the comments, do you think that's helping their sales at all, or the perception of them? I venture to say no, but time shall tell. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Also, want you to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of August, so if you click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to like and comment. The feedback is always greatly appreciated. It helps us make the show better and better. Also helps with the algorithm, so it gets shown to more and more people. Also, don't forget to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your co-workers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.